Hey everybody, welcome to Start a List with Carol and Stacy. I'm Stacy.
I'm Carol.
And welcome back. We missed you guys last week.
Yes, I was kind of off the grid, not off the grid, but out of pocket. Took a little beach trip, haven't been in many years. And so took my little grandson. That was quite eventful.
And I was lonely because my bestie was gone.
Yeah, but we got to chat a few times.
We did. We chatted. I tried not to bug you though, too bad.
No. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can stay inside where it's cool, or you can go to the pool, or you can go to the beach. And, the older I get, the more I dislike sand.
I like it for a couple days. I'd say after about the third day, I'm good to just be at the pool or doing other activities.
Right. Well, when I got home, the suitcase was full of sand. I guess it got up in the grooves of all of our shoes and everything. But before we begin, I did have some feedback from a couple of listeners. One was that they said, "Do you remember that the boat on the Gilligan's Island was called the SS Minnow?"
That's right, it was.
I love that. And then we figured out who shot JR. That was huge.
We were way off.
I think her name was Kristen, the sister.
I have no recollection of that.
Oh, no, she was jealous of
the sister-in-law. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It wasn't what we thought.
No.
We gave it a different ending.
We had everybody but her, so she was the unlikely suspect.
Yep.
But yeah, what have you been up to?
Well, let's see. Last week, I have to look at my calendar. I'll have little things. I had a hair appointment last week, which I was very excited to get this hair off my neck. I had a nail appointment. Adorable. I've kept the little girl, our grandson, a couple times. And my mom and dad had been out of town, so I helped them like take their trash in and out to the road while they were gone. Nothing really. Perry was gone for a few days to Louisiana, so I just hung out with Phoebe.
Yeah.
And I went.
Is she staying cool with her?
Yeah, she's not real interested in being outside for too long because she's scared of the vultures, and but I hate going. I have to go out with her because she has to be watched because she likes to eat things, and she's gotten better, but I'm still like scared to just she won't go out by herself. Right. And dude, it's so hot, and my house looks like a cave because I'm keeping all the blinds closed.
I do the same thing.
I have two little ones on the front open, but it's so hot that I'm trying to keep the heat out.
Now we know why whenever we would go to our grandparents' house, they had the whole house shut off. Like all the doors were closed and all the lights were off because it was so hot.
I'm upstairs. My room that I do this in is upstairs, and I keep it I keep it warmer up here, but it doesn't feel good. I had the blinds have been closed in here. So, that's really about it, I guess.
Well, we had some funny, one not funny mishap. We took my grandson to the pool to swim, and do you remember the little arm floaties we used to it was like a donut, and you would slide it all the way up under your armpits. Well, he's so little, his little arms aren't big around as anything. And anyway, we found some of those at the condo. We're like, oh, let's see if he can swim with them, because we had a swim ring we were using, and he was playing with that, and he was loving it. And so we all thought we'd get the bright idea to put the floaties on it. Well, I think there were 4 of us trying to get them on. I don't know. They're that plastic.
If I remember correctly, you used to have to dunk them in water and then pull them as open as you could and shove them on their arm. But they're not easy to get on and off.
Well, I think one of us had blown them up, and they were blown up so tightly that the hole for his arm was too small. So I started to kind of let some of the air out, thinking, oh, that'll make it easier to slide it on. Okay. And then somebody suggested put some baby oil or something to make it slippery. Well, anyway, after the 4 of us got those halfway up his little arm, we decided if we dunked his arm while we were pushing the little floaty in the water, that would create more, I guess, lubricant. Well, it didn't work. He kind of was like I could tell he was getting annoyed. It's like
He said,
looking
"Leave me
at
alone
us.
already."
Yeah, we were like, you hold his arm, now you push. And we were pushing and pulling and carrying him. So we finally were like, just forget it. Well, he kind of started kind of crying a little bit, but not crying.
Mhm.
And he wouldn't stop. And we were like, oh dear. You know how that plastic will push up against your skin and
Yep.
feel fun? Maybe he didn't like the way that felt or something. Well, then we get back to the condo, and my daughter was like, Mom, something's not quite right. He's holding his arm funny. And we started looking at each
Oh,
other like,
no.
yeah, we were like, and because she's an ER nurse, she said, I've seen this a lot. It happens a lot with kids his age. And I said, do you think? And she goes, yeah. So we kind of had this unspoken going on between us. Well, here we are. Here we went. We headed to the ER, which was ironically literally 3 miles down the road because we wanted to get his arm checked out. It just looked funny. Didn't
Mhm.
look broken. It looked funny. Long story short, we get to the entrance where you pull in to get to the ER. There's a fire truck blocking it and a literal helicopter in the road. And we're like, oh dear, somebody's really hurt. Life flight's
Yeah.
here. I finally said, y'all just get out of the car and walk. It was not that far to walk him. So they did. And I've had to sit there probably 45 minutes until the helicopter took off. Long story short, it was called Nursemaid's Elbow. And we had pushed and pulled, and it's not a dislocation, but it's like a dislocation. I guess whatever. But the little guy, we felt
I've heard of
horrible.
that before. I think it's pretty common. Isn't it because their bones are kinda soft still and
Very common, and their ligaments and bones and joints aren't real. I don't know what, but she was crying because she felt
mm.
horrible, and I felt horrible. And we don't really know who did it, but I mean, we were all trying to get these stupid floats on. It was the dumbest thing we've ever done. But long story short, they were only there for 2 hours. The doctor came straight in. We told him what happened, and he said, oh, I see this 5 times a day, being right there on the beach.
Mhm.
And he, touched him on the fingers and twisted his little wrist, and it popped and it was back in place. And everything
Aw.
was good. And he's been perfectly fine ever since.
In his head, he's like, "Thanks a lot, y'all."
Yeah. He's like, I didn't want to go to the pool. I just ended up here.
I didn't wanna
So
wear these
that was
arm
kind of,
floaties.
yeah, that was kind of like not in the plan. Ugh.
Well, thank
But
goodness it wasn't worse,
true,
you know?
true. And then coming home, we had another funny, not so funny, but I can tell that after you had something interesting happen this week as well.
Well,
Yesterday.
before I tell the story, I was sitting here yesterday. Yesterday, I had 2 things on my list. I was going to get my oil changed at 1 o'clock, and then I was going to watch, the baby for a couple hours. That was all I had on my list. And so, by 12 o'clock, I felt like I had already been up for an entire day. That's just how the whole morning felt.
Yeah.
And, so yesterday, I get up when my husband's alarm goes off for work, usually about 5:15 in the morning, and I let the dog out. I feed her. Sometimes she eats, sometimes she doesn't. And then we go back to bed because I ain't trying to be up at 5 a.m.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And I'm a really light sleeper. So, like, while he's getting ready and stuff in our bathroom, I can't go back to sleep. And
Yeah.
so I lay there usually for you 45 minutes. And once he finishes and he leaves, I'll doze back off 7:30. Lately, it's been around 8. I've been
Good.
sleeping,
Yeah.
and I'm laying there sound asleep. And I hear the loudest what I thought when I woke up was thunder, like the kind that just booms and rattles your house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of foggy waking up, and I'm like, I didn't think it was supposed to storm today or
Yeah.
but it's summer, you have those pop-up showers and storms. So I
Yeah.
roll over, I look at my phone, it's like sunny, 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 sunny. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so weird. And so I go to look on our camera um, on the front that looks out to our driveway just to see if I see something. I'm just not wanting to get out of the bed yet.
Right,
I'm trying
right.
to figure out what's happening. I'm like, something has happened.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can see cars pulling into my driveway and backing up and turning around. So I jump up and I go to the front door and the house right beside ours at the end of their yard and the next people's driveway, there's a huge work utility truck that has run off we have a big ditch. I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but a ditch on our side of the road.
It's more like a culvert. It's
Yeah, it's like a
huge.
culvert. It's giant. Our driveway
It's
goes over
yeah.
it, right?
Mhm.
This thing has run off the road and it has crashed. And that was the noise I heard. This was all
Man.
before 7 a.m., y'all. And
Mm-mm.
so I'm taking pictures. I'm out on the porch. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the ambulance and the police had not even arrived yet. This had just happened.
Now, what do you think the sound was? Him hitting the ditch
I
or?
think I think I heard it like there was more than one sound. And I was telling Perry last night. I think when he lost control and he ran off in the ditch, I think what happened was he slammed into like the other people's driveway and then the truck fell over on the side. So I
Oh,
think I was
yeah.
hearing the crash and then the whole truck falling over.
All the junk in it falling out.
Well, he's out walking around. Praise the Lord, because it was bad.
Unbelievable. Well,
He was
you sent I woke up to you a picture of it. She said, I just woke up to this and I called her immediately. I said, what on earth? I said, there's no way that poor soul is alive. And
I
she said,
said,
oh no, he's out walking around. I said, oh my goodness.
so that became my morning time entertainment. And so
No.
well, in the process, first of all, I'm like, how did he end up on this side of the road? Because he was headed where
Yeah.
he should have been on the opposite side of the road. I
Yeah.
messaged our neighbor and she was like, well, the lady whose driveway he crashed into watched the whole thing happen and he was
Ooh.
speeding and lost
Mm.
control of it and probably what we're assuming overcorrected and then ended up on our side of the road
Yeah.
and
That
down in
would make
that big
sense.
ditch. So he had, in the process of running through the ditch, he crashed through a utility pole. So the bottom of the pole that's in the ground has snapped off, and this
Mm-mm.
pole is crossways dangling. All these wires are down across the road.
She called me and said, hang on, I got to make a cup of coffee and a smoothie in case I lose electricity.
I was
I said,
panicked. I was like,
I
shoot. And I'm
know.
thinking yesterday started this heat wave we're having. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, thanks a lot, buddy. I'm glad he's
Yeah.
okay. But I'm like, they're going to cut our electricity off. This is going to take all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I panic made my coffee and I made a smoothie and I parked it out front for as long as I could. The dog was a nervous wreck. She couldn't figure out why is my mom sitting out there.
Uh-huh.
And the
And then
funniest
there
part
were,
of it was I was talking to Carol and
yeah.
I'm FaceTiming her because I'm a nosy and I want to see what happens. And at this
Right.
point, Tennessee Highway Patrol is here. The sheriff's department is here. The fire department is here. There's people from the electric company have started showing up. Men in khaki pants and hard hats are on the scene. And
Yes.
right as I start FaceTiming her, I don't know why they did it. The fire truck goes as loud as it could right in front of our house. And I was like, thanks a
And
lot.
we started laughing, and that's making Phoebe nervous too. All these
All the
sirens
noises
and
are making her nervous. So,
poor thing.
anyways, this went on. The sheriff's department put an alert out on Facebook that the
Yeah.
road was closed. You couldn't go either way.
Mm.
And so I finally was like, well, I got to go in and get a shower because I want to blow dry my hair. At least my hair will be dried if I lose electricity.
I want to look good if the news shows up.
And then I'm like, geez, what's happening? Oh, that's the mail. I'm like, there's cars backing up out here.
Oh,
They
no.
drive like it's a racetrack on my road. And I don't live in a
Yeah.
neighborhood. I live like on a main road. So I get my shower and now I'm like, Carol's like, there's a tow company in the area that's been here forever. And I don't know
Uh-huh.
if they're like the only ones. She was teasingly saying, oh, I bet they'll show up. Well,
I'll
I
say,
got my
like, let's just
shower.
call it. We'll say, oh, I bet old Joe's Wrecker Service
Yeah.
will show up. Yeah.
well, I get a shower. And I'm like, well, I need to go check and see what's happening. Well, sure enough, I look out and there's it's this big, massive tow truck, same
Yeah.
company. So I'm
Yeah.
texting her, like, she's like, yeah, I called it. So then I wanted to see him pull this truck out of the ditch.
Very interesting.
So I kept checking because it was so hot. I didn't want to be sitting out there. So finally, I'm like, ooh, they got it hooked up.
Uh-huh.
And so I videotaped them pulling it out of the ditch. And then I finally gave up and came in and got ready. And so it comes time for me to leave, and the road is still closed. And I'm like, well, they'll let me go the opposite way. But they
Right.
had cones out and a big sign. And there was this man out there. He wasn't with like, his truck said patrol, but I don't think he worked for like the police department. He wasn't wearing a uniform, right? He was just in
Could have
like
been
those
road commission or something.
something.
Yeah.
So I get to the end of my driveway and he's standing with his back to me facing the truck, and there wasn't anybody in it. The window was rolled down. So I'm like, what's he doing? Is he trying to get air? And I had nicely grabbed a very cold Gatorade out of our fridge, and I thought, well, I'll offer it to him because he's standing out here on the
Mm-hmm.
blacktop
Mm-hmm.
pavement, and he never turns around. And I'm like, I know he knows I'm back here.
Why didn't you blow your horn?
Well, I get out. Well, I was trying not to startle everybody like the fireman had already done.
Yeah.
So I get out and walk out in the road. I'm like, excuse me. I was like, I need to get out and go this way. Is that okay? And he's like, yep, no problem. Get in the car. I drive out and I roll down the window and I said, hey, I've got a ice cold Gatorade here. Do you want it? And he was like, no, I'm good. Thanks. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
all righty
well,
then.
there
Well,
you
he
go.
could. Maybe he's allergic to the blue dye or the red dye. Who
Well,
knows?
it was yellow, but I thought, well,
Good
maybe he's
grief.
diabetic and can't drink all the sugar,
Yeah.
whatever. But
True. Well, that
anyways,
was very nice of you to offer because it is blazing hot.
it's so
It's
hot. But
horrible.
that
My
sucked up my entire day yesterday. And
mm,
I think I came home at 5 and there was still one work truck out there. They had opened the road. And I was like,
insane.
shoot.
Well,
And
it's amazing.
surprisingly enough, we did not lose electricity.
That's crazy. And
I
it's
don't know how.
amazing how they winch those trucks out and just flip them over
They
slowly
did. They
but
pulled it
surely.
up,
Yeah.
and then they pulled it up,
Yeah.
and I didn't watch them hook it up to the truck, but
Well, speaking of
oh,
patrol and police officers, when we were
you gonna tell the story? You said you weren't. I'm so
I'm
excited if
gonna
you are.
tell it. I'm gonna
Okay,
tell it.
this is a good one, y'all.
As we left, we were leaving the airport. Okay, now imagine you're on your last day of, you don't want to come home. You're burning up. Everywhere you go, you're burning up. You have all this weight and suitcases, etc. You have a toddler. And when I say toddler, I mean alligator runner. Like you put him down, he's gone. I mean, he's just at that age,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, we thought
And the
it'd be a good
airport,
idea.
is crazy, anyways.
Yeah, but we thought it was a good idea because he got to fly free until he's 2. So we were like, "Ooh, we'll do." He did great. He did better than we did. I mean, we were just hot and tired and ready to come home. Well, we get to the counter and we're checking our bags. Lo and behold, the giant suitcase I bought that had a huge sticker on it that said TSA compliant was oversized. And we had to pay $200 to get it home. It happened to us coming.
What do you mean it was oversized?
Okay.
To check?
So, yes. So it was TSA compliant, but the airlines we took had specifications on baggage sizes.
For checking a bag?
Yes.
Have I ever heard of that?
Yes. So many inches by so many inches by so
To
many
bring
inches.
it on the plane,
Oh, yeah.
like to carry it on, but I've never heard of them.
Well, I think it's in the fine print that
Because I've
nobody
taken some
read.
pretty big suitcases before.
Well, this sucker, we had.
What'd you do? Put a body in it?
We had we thought about one of us crawling in there. We had the pack and play bed. We had a mini me high chair, I think. We had 45 outfits. I mean, it was packed. And the lady said, it's not the weight, it's the size. And I said, well, and of course I had to pop up out of the background like it was her fault. I said, I'm returning that thing when I get home. It had a big label on it. It said TSA compliant. And she said, I would if I were you, because that's misleading. I said, it really was. So that kind of
I'm so
really,
baffled. I just didn't know. I mean, people
yeah,
check huge things on the plane all the time.
they check flagpoles and
Guitars and
guitars and golf
so
clubs and
you had a pack and play in a suitcase?
yeah,
That's a pretty big suitcase.
it was giant. It came up to my waist. Like
Well,
I
yeah.
could walk with it. I mean, it
I'm
was
gonna need
huge.
a visual on this suitcase.
Well, it's not here. It's at the baby's house. But
Okay.
anyway, the thing was, it's giant because she said to me, I need you to go to the store the day before we left. She said, we don't have enough room for the stuff. I want you to get the biggest suitcase they sell. So
So
that's
you
what I
did.
did. But I made sure it was TSA compliant, right? Because
Huh.
we're flying. Okay. Bottom line, we lost $400, 200 going,
What?
200 coming over this stupid suitcase that I bought. So now I've got $500 in the suitcase for nothing.
Oh, that would make me so mad.
I was sick about it, but I mean, I wasn't mad at it wasn't anybody's fault. It was
looking
just
this
one of
up. Keep
those
talking. I had this
methods.
is like brand new news to me.
Well, whatever. All I know is we got hit with a fine at the door, and we got hit with a fine when we left, going out the door. So that's not even the good part of the story. Then we get to is it TSA check-in where you're
Mhm.
getting
Your
scanned
security.
and all that. You're like hold your arms up like a stick figurine and
Yep.
doing all the thing, and that door goes rink, rink. So the first time, I mean, yeah, the first time I think my daughter's bag got pulled because it had sunscreen in it. Well, they took it. That's happened before. We're like, whatever.
Mhm.
But coming back, they pulled one of my bags. And I thought, I have no idea what is even in that bag because my daughter had packed it the night before. So she's in the bedroom. I never see what goes in it. There could have been floaties. There could have been
And
baby
this is your
clothes. I didn't
carry-on
know.
bag, right?
This is my carry-on.
Okay.
So it's over on the red, it's in the red zone. And they are like, who does this belong to? And I'm like, me, I'm sitting there like, well, everybody else has been cleared. They're sitting on a bench over here behind me watching all of this go down. And I'm like, and I looked at my daughter and she went, I don't know what's in it, mouthed it to me. And I said, I don't either. The lady said, is there anything that's going to stick me or poke me or whatever? I said, no, ma'am. I was 1,000% confident there was
Yeah.
nothing bad or
What are you
no
smuggling back
contraband.
from
Yeah,
Destin,
yeah.
you know?
There's nothing in it. I mean, what on earth? So that she starts unpacking everything and she's running it under a scanner and an x-ray machine. And then I heard it go off. It was like, and a red light came on and she was like, ma'am, I need you to step over here and don't touch anything or move until you're told to do so. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I was like, okay. I mean, I had nothing to hide.
Right.
And I wanted to be cooperative. So she pulls out this bag. It was a little baggie. And I went, oh boy, that looks like drugs. It was a little bag of sand that we had brought back to make a craft with. That put glue on his little foot, and you do it on a piece of a picture frame, and then you sprinkle sand on it for his little first footprint in the sand. Whatever. Well, that got Nana nearly arrested because here I am, and they're like, and when they pulled it out, I went,
You
oh.
texted me, you go, I've just about been arrested at the airport. And I'm like, what'd you do?
I know. I said, did you think I smarted off to one of the officers? And she
I was
said,
like, she's
yeah.
already been drug off a plane.
So anyway, long story short, this bag comes out and I went, oh, that does look suspicious. Because I'm not thinking.
If you don't know what it is.
Well, then she said, I'm going to have to call my supervisor. Well, not 3 supervisors came over. And then a lady comes over. She's popping and stretching, putting gloves on. And she's like, ma'am, I'm going to have to pat you down. I'm like, okay. She
Oh,
goes, would you like to go to a private area or is right here fine? I said, right here's fine. Because again, I have nothing to hide.
I wish
So
Jennifer had been
here we go.
videotaping this.
I looked at her. I said, tape it, tape it. And she was like, she said, no, because she didn't want to get in trouble too. Okay. So here's the woman patting me down. I mean, full body, very professional. It was,
She did that.
she went, up the leg, up the thighs, down the front, in the back, the
Oh
whole 9 yards.
gosh.
I'm like, okay, that was interesting. And I'm just standing there. And I'm like scared to move because they said don't move
Yeah.
and don't touch, don't move. So I'm just
You're
being real
frozen.
still. I'm like frozen. Well, and people are walking by looking like, what's she do?
Oh yeah.
Well, bottom line, the supervisor came over with it looked like communion tray of chemicals, bottles. They were going to drug test it. And she's sitting over
Can I
there.
interrupt you for a minute? They couldn't tell by
Yes.
looking at it that it was sand.
Yes. But they wanted to test it because I could have laced the sand with something, I guess.
Okay.
I
go
don't
ahead.
know.
I'm
don't
like, it's
know.
pretty obvious what sand looks like. But
Well, I
anyways,
know. And I said, oh, that's my daughter's sand, which if you're a criminal, you're going to go, oh, that's my baby powder. Right. I mean, I
right.
get it. I get it. They were doing their job. It was fine. She takes out these drip drops and starts, and then she's like, I got a 1412 over here or whatever the code was. And another supervisor had to come. She said, ma'am, this is this substance has tested positive for explosives. And I'm like, sand? And she said, you'll need to remain still. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I mean, my family is dying. I'm dying. Come to find out, I had all you listeners out there, be careful what kind of sand you pick up.
Oh Lord.
There were trace elements in sand that included some kind of powder that can be found in an explosive. For example, body oil, baby powder that comes off of your body, deodorant, all these different things. And I'm like, why would sand test positive for an explosive? And there it is right there on
Well, I mean,
ChatGPT.
we spray sunscreen at the beach or slather in
Yes.
sunscreen, lotion, like you said, oils.
Aerosol. Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So finally it's all over with, and she hands me the bag of sand. She goes, have a good day. And I went, thank you. I said, is it okay to move now? And I mean, I didn't want to set off any alarms. And so, yeah.
Get shot.
So then I had to go over to the side. It looked like the FBI had been through my suitcase, tousled and tossed everything. But yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Oh, it's so, she goes, I'm not telling that story. And I was like, well, okay, but it's really
Yeah, she wanted me
good.
to tell it. I thought, well, I'm kind of embarrassed, but then again,
Well, I didn't hear from her. Like I said, what happened? And then I didn't get a response.
well, I was
Yeah. Well, this was after all of that happened. You
Yeah.
texted me, but I knew they were, it's hard when you're at the airport. So finally, I'm like, are you home? I need to know why you almost got arrested.
Yeah, I said I tried to sneak in some sand.
I don't remember one time we were coming back from Orlando. It must be freaking Florida. They're always a problem.
I don't know.
And we were at the Orlando airport. Lewis and I, we were either coming back from Disney World or a cruise because that would be the only reason I'd been down there. We got through security, and Perry at the time was carrying on his CPAP machine. It's in its own case, right?
Yes, yes.
They pulled him to the side and had to go through that whole entire case. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I know.
When you scan that, you can tell what's inside of it. It didn't look like a CPAP machine, or it looked like a CPAP machine.
Right.
So we had to stand there and wait and wait and wait. So, anyways.
Well, I'm looking this up real quick. The explosives.
Yeah.
It says, why does sand test positive for explosives? It can for several reasons. Naturally occurring minerals. Wow. Thanks, beach. For having naturally occurring environmental contamination. Cross contamination. Sand can pick up microscopic residues from shoes, tires, equipment, and bags. And
Hmm.
then I'm just like, and then they said the highly sensitive detection methods at the airport is another reason. Like it can detect anything anywhere. And so, I mean, I guess the machines are working.
I guess. And I mean, I'm glad they were doing their job in case you did have
I
something,
know.
but
But really, I'm going to take, it was a pound of something. I'm not going to try to hide it. I'm just going to have it in a baggie right
and
there
carry it on.
for the whole world to see. Yeah.
We were in where were we coming back from? We were coming back from a cruise. Where were we? Maybe Miami or
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. I can't remember.
Hmm.
And they had their drug sniffing dogs just walking up and down the line to wait because the line for TSA, I remember there was long. And I was like, I mean, I knew I didn't have anything, obviously, but I got nervous because, like, what if that dog stops and starts sniffing somebody's bag? What are they going to do to those people?
I know. Well, everything I've read, they're not looking for drugs per se. They're looking for big stuff like like what I have, trace explosives or whatever. Things that
I
could
mean, they
really
may
be
be like also gun sniffing dogs too. You know, they have
true.
they train those dogs to look for all kinds of
Right.
stuff. But woo,
But anyway, I'm kind of over all the shenanigans of
mm-mm.
the. I'm like ready for things to settle down.
Yeah,
Like
I was wore out yesterday, and it didn't even involve me. But I don't know. I just had to be nosy and be looking at it, and then
that poor guy walked away from the wreck, but it exhausted me
it
watching it.
did. Well, and I kept going. There are 10 men out there in their khaki pants with their hard hats on, just
Uh-huh.
standing around.
I
And I
know,
said
I
that guy
know.
probably doesn't have a job anymore. And
It's unreal that he lived. I mean, it looked
it
awful.
was pretty crazy looking. But well, we are almost. We've got about 7 minutes left, so we are
Okay.
almost out of time. But um, was there anything else we were gonna chat about today? I don't think so.
No, I mean, I think we're going to be working on our next episode will be part 2 of our childhood memories of TV
Yes,
shows or
game show
commercial
edition.
game show edition. Be sure you gather all your friends and share our link.
Yes.
You'll
Are
want
you
to
doing
hear.
anything for the fourth?
Actually, I worked that morning
Mm-hmm.
from 5 to probably 11, and no, I will be just happy as a lark to sit in the cool.
Yes.
I don't love fireworks, but
Yeah. I mean,
I mean they're beautiful, but I'm not. I'll be glad when it's over.
we're not doing anything on the fourth. I like to be home in the evening with the dog so she doesn't get nervous.
I know.
But
Poor thing.
Friday, I think the kiddos and the baby are going to come over, and my mom and dad, and we're going to have
Yay!
hamburgers, what you
Just
eat.
don't get the slip and slide out.
There will be no slip and slide available this 4th of July.
Okay.
Um, but we hope everybody has a happy 4th of July. This will be
Yes.
out in the next couple days. Is my goal to get it out since you guys, we took last week off.
And oh, good old America, it's going to be 250. That's
Yes,
insane.
it is insane.
Yeah.
Whew. Anyways,
Yeah.
well, I guess we're going to wrap it up and
Okay.
get on with our day. I feel like I need a nap.
I do too. It's hot. All right, everybody. Remember, don't make a fist. Start
Start a
a
list.
list. See you next time.
Bye.